Hello and welcome to the Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast. This is John Goodwin, your host. Today's guest is Illustrators of the Future winner, Vytautas V. Welcome, Vytautas.
Hello, everybody.
So first of all, congratulations on being a winner.
Thank you very much.
So now I know you live in France, but you're from...
Originally, I am from Lithuania.
And then you went to England, then you went to France, and...
Yeah, in Lithuania, I finished university and I didn't like it. Then I went to England to finish another university, this time fully in arts. The first one was in architecture, and then I moved to Paris to search for inspiration.
Okay, great. So how did you find out about the contest?
I found out about the contest from the first Lithuanian winner. Not directly, kind of directly. He posted on Facebook and I saw it and I just asked him, what is this all about? He told me and I decided to enter.
Who was that?
It was Jonas Špokas.
Wow, that's great. That's the value of paying it forward and just what you're going to be able to do for future, artists
Yeah, absolutely.
in Europe that you're going to be able to influence too.
Yeah.
That's great. So have you always wanted to be an artist?
Yes, probably never, only maybe 6 or 7 years ago thought about it to do it professionally, but I always drew since early childhood.
That's great. So what type of drawing do you do? What type of art do you do?
I create mostly line art, like you could say comic work. I like portraits, graphical artworks, stylizations. But I also do some digital covers, posters, advertising work, concept art. I basically have a wide range of styles, and I can do many things, many different things.
So you do mostly computer generated, or do you do a lot of pencil and art and acrylics and oil and...
Right. I prefer the most fun I have is with ink, pen and ink, and marker perhaps, brushes, traditional media, and that is for drawing. I mostly do drawing with that. Sometimes I use gouache for painting and acrylics as well, and pencils. But if I do covers or posters, I prefer digital, because it gives me the look that I would need oils to achieve, and I do not work with oils.
I get it. So any particular influencers, people that have influenced you along the way?
Artists that influenced me a lot of them are classical painters from 1800s, 1900s, people like Turner, like Caravaggio, Rembrandt, Velázquez, but also from modern times, like Picasso. And I'm talking inspirations as in I love their work, and they're not directly inspire me, but they inspire me to try out new things. If direct inspirations or from people I learned, it would be perhaps these days people I find online, and I can buy their tutorial, and if I need something to learn a skill, I just get that and I learn that way. So they become inspirations just because of that. I want to learn from them.
Okay, that makes sense. Any sidetracks? Anything you were like, you're going one direction, all of a sudden something took you off to a different direction?
Sidetracks in my career, I could consider going to architecture university. I didn't know what I wanted to do in the art world, or that I wanted to do anything with the art world. Thus, I went to architecture, and I didn't like it. Afterwards, I went to do some office jobs just to find what I really want to do, and I just found myself drawing even at those office jobs. Thus, I just realized, okay, I have to just go full on into this, and thus I applied for another university in Coventry, UK, and I decided to fully go on to the art career. So that was the most major, I guess, sidetrack, because it was 4 years of sidetracking.
All right. So now we just had the awards event, and you've been here for several days with the workshop. What are some of the highlights you've had, and talking about last night as well?
The highlights through the whole week and the awards ceremony.
Yeah.
The workshops were great. perhaps the biggest highlight was meeting new people
Uh-huh.
from this industry, from this fantasy and science fiction family, and forging new relationships, meeting art directors, meeting the judges, talking to them, getting to know them. Basically, yes, relationships, listening to the talks, getting some useful nuggets of information, and from the award ceremony, it was a very nice show, great catering, very beautiful uh, place,
Yeah.
for lack of a better word. But yes, place, a very beautiful place, and very streamlined, very nice event, direct, focused, I would say. So that was great to watch. Very fun. Time flew by.
Yeah, definitely. So now you're from Europe, so anything that you would like to say or that you could say to aspiring artists in Europe that would encourage them to enter this contest and why they should?
I am from Europe, and I would encourage every artist, not only from Europe but from the whole world, to apply for this. To be a writer of the future or an illustrator of the future, apply, send in your work, because it's a great opportunity to get some exposure for your work, your brand. And this was my first time in the USA, and at least I'm very grateful for the opportunity, for this opportunity to be here and to get at least a great trip out of this. So apply for that, and apply to just get yourself out there more.
Good. Now, as an artist, do you have to speak English to enter the contest?
I believe that as an artist, to speak English and apply for this contest, it is absolutely not necessary. Of course, it helps, like with everything, to know the language, but it is not necessary. You can apply. You can speak with your visual language.
Yeah, Sergei Poyarkov, one of our judges, spoke 5 words of English when he won 26 years ago. It was right after the Iron Curtain went down, and he was from Ukraine and came over, and he knew he could say, "Thank you, America. Thank you, L. Ron Hubbard. Thank you, my friends." And that's what I said over and over again for his acceptance
Right.
speech. He's just a brilliant artist. So yeah, absolutely. There's no requirement of language. It's all based upon art.
Absolutely.
Now, since you are from Lithuania, can you tell something? Can you, in your native tongue, speak to artists there and tell them why they should enter the contest?
I could say some words in my mother tongue, Lithuanian, to all the artists out there in Lithuania, to just encourage them. They would be sveiki visi. Norėčiau visiems pasakyti, kad jūs siūstumėte darbus savo į šį konkursą, nesijaudinkit, nebijokit. Jeigu nepavyks, siūskit dar kartą, tai yra nemokama. Ir tiesiog siūskite ir jums pasiseks, ir iš to gausite bent jau kelionę ar į kitą šalį, ir daug svarbios patirties. So I think that was that.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Vytautas.
You're welcome, and thank you for having me here.
You're very welcome. And thank you for listening. Stay tuned for our next show. Subscribe to the Writers of the Future podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Writers and Illustrators of the Future are contests created by L. Ron Hubbard to provide a means for the aspiring writer and artist to be seen and acknowledged. It is free to enter and open to new and amateur short story writers and artists of science fiction or fantasy.